Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar for this month, 4 keys to break through 20,000 per month in collections this year. This is a step-by-step blueprint for overcoming practice growth stage 1 now. I am Dr. Bill Davis with UCM Practice Growth Systems. Very excited to be with you today on this awesome webinar. We're going to be going through the 4 keys to break through 20,000 per month in collections this year. Let's get started. So, who am I? If you don't know me, whoop, I went too far. There I am. If you don't know me, I built a successful all-cash upper cervical practice before breaking my neck mountain biking about 13 years ago. I'm the founder and CEO of UCM Practice Growth Systems, and for the past 11 plus years, almost going on 12 years now, we've helped upper cervical specialists grow their practice. That's what we're all about. That's what we do with all of our content and all of our products and services. That's what we do every day. So why should you listen to me? You know, we've helped over 250 upper cervical doctors over these last 11 years plus grow their practices through the different practice stages, doubling dozens of practices, helping doctors build million-dollar practices, helping them add associates to their practice, add additional locations, start upper cervical practices right, add CAs, new patient coordinators, office managers. All of this type of growth is what we do every single day. And so that's why you should listen to me. If you're wanting to grow, then I encourage you to listen to what we're going to go over today, because it's going to help you grow. Also, as I've been doing this for the past 11 plus years, I've interviewed over 150 of the most successful upper cervical specialists in the world, and have written 2 editions of our book, the UC Practice Success Handbook, Upper Cervical Practice Mastery, Learn Success Secrets of the World's Top Upper Cervical Doctors. And so those are some of the reasons why I am an expert in practice growth when it comes to upper cervical practices, and just love helping doctors grow their practices. So, but the important thing to understand is that you are the hero. You are the hero in this story. You are the one that's in your practice every day, and you're changing lives and saving lives in many cases, and you are making the impact on your community. You're bringing hope and you're bringing healing to sick and suffering people. And that makes you my hero. I love that about you. I love that. And I love to be able to serve you, because you're the hero, not me, you. And so that's what I want to make sure that it's an important distinction, because if we thought that somehow what we were about is the real hero of this story, that's not the case at all. It's you. You're making the impact every day in your communities. And what we are is we're a guide. We are a guide to help you, to point you in the right direction, to give you the right resources, to give you the right guidance to go to where you want to go. You're the hero, we're the guide. And that's what we are all about, and what our heart is as a company. And so what we're going to talk about today is how to break through $20,000 per month in collections without devaluing your care. Because I talk to a lot of doctors who have a concern about that, right? They concern, oh, okay, well, do I have to devalue my care? Do I have to give it away? Do I have to not provide the quality of upper cervical care that I want to? Absolutely not. No. You can provide high quality, high value care, and also be able to make a good living doing that. And I want to show you that today through many different examples that I'm going to share with you. And so how to break through 20,000 a month in collections without devaluing your care is going to be the focus of a lot of what we're talking about today. And I want to encourage you too, if you stay until the end, I've got some special things for you, some 4 different bonuses that I'm going to tell you about that I think are going to be really exciting for you. So who is this for? As I mentioned before, this webinar today is for doctors in practice growth stage 1. And what we call that, another name for it, is the do everything doc stage, right? This is when you're growing the practice. but it hasn't exceeded $20,000 per month in collections on average yet. But that's where you are in this stage. If that's you, then that's who I'm talking to today is you, Doc. So what we're going to talk about today, here's some of the bullet points. We're going to talk about expanding and training your mind. We're going to talk about CAs and habits and how to be the unique upper cervical specialist that you are, how to avoid the biggest mistakes in digital advertising when you're in this stage, how to invest time instead of money and why that's so important at this stage, how to build social proof, how to develop a powerful patient education system, how to get health practitioners in your community to refer patients to you, and how to train your team or your 1CA, whatever you have, to be an upper cervical chiropractic advocate. These are some of the key steps that we're going to go through today as part of our webinar. So we're going to be focusing in on these 4 keys, the 4 keys to break through $20,000 per month: mindset, habits, CA hiring, and training in new patients. So let's start going through this. Number 1, mindset matters. That's key number 1. Your mindset matters, Doc. And unfortunately, within chiropractic and even upper cervical chiropractic, this mindset has been talked about so much, headspace, and these types of terms that in some ways it's almost become cliche. But I'll tell you, Doc, I've never seen a doctor who is highly successful in upper cervical practice who has not mastered their mindset. The importance of expanding and training your mind so you can help more people in your community cannot be understated. It cannot be overstated, I should say. And so I'm going to talk to you about 3 main things that you can focus on to help improve your mindset, help you go in the right direction with this, because you can get in a downward spiral with your thoughts when you're in practice growth stage 1. You can get caught up in a lot of negative thinking that is not going to be helpful for you to be able to get out of this stage and move through it. And so let's talk about purpose. So purpose is the driving force behind all top upper cervical doctors. Every one of them in the book that we talk about, everyone that I've ever interviewed on the podcast, they have a powerful purpose. Dr. B.J. Palmer said, "A man without a purpose can be distracted, but a man with a purpose cannot be stopped." It's my favorite quote by him, and it's so true because it's the purpose. If you have a powerful purpose, then every day you can continue to get up and move towards it and move in the right direction. So to determine your own purpose, you got to think through big questions. You got to think through big things like, why did God put you on this earth? What were you designed to do? How can you make a powerful impact in your community? How can you leave a legacy? These types of questions can help you really define your purpose and get it clear in your mind, because you want to determine a personal purpose and a practice mission that will help you keep your mind focused on a daily basis. As Mark Twain said, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And so that's the key, Doc, is getting that clear purpose in your mind. Another part of a powerful mindset is having intentionality. Once your purpose is clear, the next characteristic to focus on is having intentionality. Intentionality is defined as being deliberate or purposive. Intentionality is taking your purpose and applying your daily thought patterns and activities to deliberately living out your purpose. As Jesus said, "For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks." When your purpose is driving you and you are deliberate in your thought patterns, then your mouth will speak that which is in your heart. Purpose, intentionality, consistently applied will lead to our next characteristic, which is perseverance. In practice growth stage 1, you have to have perseverance. You can't be knocked down and stay down. You have to get knocked down and get back up and get knocked down and get back up. It is a key part of this stage to get through practice growth stage 1 into practice growth stage 2. When I opened my practice in May of 2008, after my associateship in a new city with no patients, I was in a desperate situation. My wife was at home with 3 kids, aged 3.5 and under. I had over $250,000 worth of debt and no idea how I was going to make my practice work. I don't recommend putting yourself in this situation, but for me, it was what lit a fire under me like nothing else could. I started every day on my knees praying and crying out to God for his help. And by my third month in practice, I collected $16,000 in cash. And I thought it was going to be easy going from there. But boy, was I wrong. I continued to struggle, learn the hard way how to succeed in practice, and move through that first practice growth stage through perseverance and persistence. And that's the key for you too, Doc. You've got to learn perseverance. You've got to apply it on a daily basis. And it is a key to moving through this stage. A great example of this is one of our clients, Dr. Greg Dutson. Dr. Greg has a powerful purpose, intentionality, and perseverance now as we've been guiding him through his story. He's the hero of his story. He's helping more people in his community than he ever has before. His practice is doing better than it's ever done before. He went from $15,000 a month in collections to $33,000 in 4 months. It's through helping him to master his mindset, getting him going in the right direction with many of these other things we're going to talk about today as well. But it is key to have that mindset dialed in as it was for Dr. Dutson. So let's talk about key habit number 2. 5. These are 5 habits of successful upper cervical doctors: being on time, body language, energy, passion, and being coachable. We're going to talk about these. You've got to develop the habits of highly successful doctors to break through. That's how doctors are successful, is because they have a powerful mindset and habits, and they apply them day by day by day. If you want it to be more successful in your practice, then you've got to do the things that the successful upper cervical doctors do, which includes mindset and habits. And so I love this quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes. It says, "A man that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions." And so what I encourage you to do is to build a powerful mindset and habits in a very simple way by simply listening to a episode of our upper cervical marketing podcast every day. The UCM podcast has over 200 episodes. You can start at episode number 1 and just begin listening to one of these every day. It is a really powerful tool to use to expand your mind, help you to develop the habits, the mindset that's needed in order to be a successful upper cervical doctor. And in order to do that, you can search anywhere podcasts are. You can just search upper cervical. You'll find us, the UCM podcast. You can also just go to the website, ucmgrow.com, click on resources and podcasts, and you can find all the podcast episodes there too. Now we also have the podcast in video format if you want to watch the videos. But either way, if you commit to 30 days, 30 consecutive days of listening to one of our UCM podcasts every day, I can encourage you that your mindset will be different and your habits will start to be different as well as you begin to learn from some of the top upper cervical doctors in the world. Here's another great example of this. Dr. James Blandford. Dr. Blandford started with us in our Start Right program, which is a program that we have designed for brand new practices to get off to a great start and really rock and roll from day one. So he started with our Start Right program, and then he moved into one of our practice growth systems, and we helped him through his first year in practice. And so from starting his practice to 11 months into practice, he grew from $0 to $25,000 per month. And the reason why he did that is because he was slow and steady. He was very methodical. He listened to us and he applied what we taught him, and he was consistent in his habits and his mindset. And so that's why we see this incredible results for him and why his practice continues to grow. And now we're going to be looking at associates with him and helping him move into practice growth stage 3, is because he has applied this principle from Proverbs 13:11, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. When you slow and steady build, it is the best way to grow a practice, either a new practice or really any practice, because it helps you to develop everything that you need to do in order to be successful at the next stage that you're building towards. So key number 3, hiring and training a CA. So famously, I hired 6 CAs in my first 6 months in practice, and it was, quite an experience for me as a new business owner, a new practice owner, to go through 6 different CAs in my first 6 months in practice. And I learned a lot of things about hiring and training during that first 6 months. And there's a lot of lessons that I learned, but the most powerful one and the most impactful one for me that I want to teach you today is that you can have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both. Okay, I want to say that again. You can have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both. So doc, if you want to control everything in your practice, if you want to be the one that answers the phone, if you want to be the one that checks out the patient, if you want to be the one that calls and reminds people of their appointments, if you want to be the one that cleans the toilet, if you want to be the one that does all the adjustments, that analyzes the films, that takes all the x-rays, if you want to be the one that does everything in the practice, then your practice is never going to grow. You're a do everything doc. You only have so much capacity with what you have, the energy you have, what the capacity you have, and your practice will never grow beyond a certain point. And so in order for a practice to grow, you have to give up some control. You have to get out of that do everything doc mindset and understand that what really needs to happen for you, doc, is that you need to build a team. It may seem easier to do it all yourself and have that control, but you're limiting your growth and your ability to help people within the community. And that's the biggest thing. I know you got into this because you want to help people. You want to help sick and suffering people. And you may be extremely frustrated with that because you have a great service to offer them and you just want to help more of them in the community. But I'll tell you, if you don't bring a CA in, if you're not in that place where you're trying to do it all yourself, if you can't hire a CA, you're not going to be able to help people the way that you could if you had a team behind you to really help people, because that's what it's about. You can't do this alone. Every upper cervical practice should have at least one CA. As a practice owner, you must learn everything you can about hiring ideal team players who are humble, hungry, and smart. And you need to learn how to train them and develop chiropractic advocates as CAs. This is with clear KRAs and KPIs. This is one of the things that we do with doctors all the time, is working with them on their CAs, helping them to see that your CA can be an incredible advocate, can be an incredible asset to your practice, can dramatically impact your ability to help people in your community if you just take the time to train them effectively. Because this quote by Andrew Carnegie really sums it up. Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision. It's the ability to direct individual accomplishments toward organizational objectives. It is the fuel, doc, that allows common people to attain uncommon results. And so that's what it's about, is getting your CA in there, getting them well trained, getting them dialed into your purpose, your mission, and what you're looking to do within the community, inspiring them, encouraging them. And then you guys, the two of you, working together to make a dramatic impact on your community. That's exciting. Great example of this, Dr. Danielle Stolp started with us and did not have a CA, was struggling in practice. And one of the things that we worked with her on was building her practice and also hiring her first CA and really developing that relationship between her and her CA so that they could help more people in their community. And that's what it's all about. Now they're starting to see that practice really take off, because there's not just one doctor trying to do everything. There's a doctor and a CA with individual roles, very specific roles, things that they can focus on, things that they can be great at. And the doctor doesn't have to try to do everything. All right. Key number 4, new patients. New patients are necessary to move out of practice growth stage 1. New patients are necessary in every growth stage, but in practice growth stage 1, they're very, very important. And so making sure that you get an abundance of new patients flowing into the practice, but also that you know how to handle those new patients is really important. So we're going to talk about some ways to generate new patients here. The first one is your patient education process. Having a patient education process that starts with the new patient phone call and moves through the consult, exam, imaging, and report, and moves into the care plan and moves through the care plan into the progress exam. That type of patient education system that is consistent and effectively communicated is in a powerful way to consistently generate referrals. And so if you're not generating referrals consistently, meaning, several per week, that is one of the things you can really focus in on is what are we doing in these different patient interactions to communicate what we are about, how upper cervical works, why it's beneficial for them, who it helps, those types of things that are so important so that they can understand and tell others. Another great way to generate new patients is through building a health practitioner referral network. This is one of the best ways that you can use time rather than money in practice growth stage 1 is really building this type of a network. And the way you do this is that you become the connector. You want to search Google and start making a list of all the health practitioners in your community and start to call them and set up meetings and go in their office and find out about them, find out about what they do, how they help people. And inevitably, they're going to ask you about what you do as well. But the key with this is inviting them to something. You always want to have something to invite them to. And so when you meet with them saying something like this, hey, we're doing a study group, or you can call it a provider night. We're doing a study group or a provider night. So this is something you need to host at your practice, doc. In your front lobby. Hopefully you have enough space there to have 10 people. Have 10 people lined up, sitting there in chairs. And so you explain it like this, though. It's a way for us to build relationships. It's not about networking. Networking is like stepping into a pool of piranhas. Everybody wants to eat each other. Nobody wants to give. Everybody just wants to take. This is going to be designed for collaboration. It's going to be designed on relationship building that's longer term. It's going to be built upon creativity. And it'll be the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. in my office, whatever. Would you be interested in coming? Right? Something simple like that. You just invite them to this event you're going to be having. And there's going to be certain people who are they're going to resonate with it. They're going to be excited about it. They're going to like you. You're going to like them. And they're going to be great people that you can start building a relationship with that will lead to referrals for them and you for years to come. But if you don't get out of the practice, if you just sit there, if you just sit around and lament over how many patients came in this week or how much time you have today, instead of doing this, you're going to be right where you are for next month too, doc. So get out there, get out of your practice, get into these other offices, start talking with doctors, start having conversations, start building friendships and relationships, and have this kind of event. Put it on the calendar. And you know what? There's going to be some people that say no. It's okay. They may not have the time or the energy for it, and that's cool. But it's about getting out there, starting to talk to them, start building those relationships, and start getting that connection with the community. What about digital marketing? In practice growth stage 1, digital marketing, I'll tell you, it can be dicey, right? Because what happens at this stage is you don't have a lot of budget to invest in marketing. And that's just the reality of the situation. And so what a lot of doctors do, the mistake they make is they invest in a lot of advertising, right? Facebook ads, Instagram, TikTok, Google ads. And I'll tell you, I don't recommend that at all. I don't recommend that for doctors in that stage. I think there's much better ways to build the practice, to do things that are going to help you grow the practice without spending your limited budget on advertising. And so I would recommend waiting on digital ads until you're collecting at least $20,000 per month into practice growth stage 2. Then it makes more sense with your budget. So what is some effective digital marketing that you can be doing in practice growth stage 1? Really, it's about things that, again, you can do. You can invest time instead of money. So for instance, recording videos, right? Start getting good on videos. Start making videos. Start recording short reels, frequently asked question videos, condition-specific videos, your story videos. You got a great story? Tell your story. Upper cervical specific videos. And then get video testimonials. Get these capture those success stories. Focus on the before and after state. Try to get 2 a month or 24 per year, and really start to build up that video content, and then start just putting them everywhere, right? You got a Facebook, you got an Instagram, you got a TikTok, a YouTube. Just put them everywhere, and this will help you tremendously. As your practice grows, you can invest more in digital marketing. It's really, really helpful to have a lot of that video content already done. Another thing you can really focus in on in practice growth stage 1 is building social proof. The goal here is to get 24 video testimonials and 100 Google reviews every year. All right. The way to do that is, number 1, you got to get 2 video testimonials every month and 2 Google reviews every week to make that happen, right? The way that you can do that is, number 1, you got to communicate the why. You got to talk about this all the time, right? You got to talk about why we capture success stories with your team, with your patients consistently every day. Like, this has to be part of your everyday conversations. Number 2 is you've got to plan for it by doing a morning huddle. And so one of the meetings we recommend is doing a morning huddle before you see patients, and discuss who's going to be coming in that day and which of them you can strategically ask for a Google review or a video testimonial that day. Then in your weekly team meeting, hopefully you're doing weekly team meetings, you read the new Google reviews, you watch the new video testimonials, and you celebrate the results. And then number 4 is you develop a culture that's focused around getting Google reviews and video testimonials consistently. That success story culture will breed more success within the practice for a variety of reasons. That is it's such a powerful part of building your practice. So a great example of this is Dr. Barbara Reed. Dr. Reed she's a practice that's been around a while. She's a fantastic upper cervical doctor, and she had an associate whose practice was not at capacity. He needed a breakthrough. He needed to move in the direction that she was already at, and applying many of these things we discussed about as far as new patient generation principles have been huge for their office to begin to move moving through the different practice growth stages. So we've talked about the 4 keys to break through $20,000 per month: mindset, habits, CA hiring, and training in new patients. But there's more. Remember, Doc, you're the hero. And if you take everything that I said today and you apply it and it works for you, awesome. I'm excited. I generally want you to win. But if you know that you've tried some of these things, or you know that you've been there for a while and you're not sure how to move through it, remember, we are the guide. We can help you. We can help you with your specific situation. We can give you the resources that you need. We can point you in the direction that you need to go and give you the guidance that you need specifically. And that's what we're about when it comes to our UCM growth systems. And what I'd recommend for you in your stage is this program that we've designed specifically for you. We've been building this the past few years. We've been testing it, different markets with different doctors, and have seen consistent results, including many of the results that I showed you today. It's called our 180-day UC Practice Breakthrough, and it is fantastic. If you are in the practice growth stage 1, you're collecting less than $20,000 per month, then our 180-day UC Practice breakthrough program has been designed specifically for you, because I want to see you have that breakthrough. I want to see you break through into that next stage where there's more freedom, there's more flexibility, there's more security, there's more stability than where you are right now. Our 180-day UC practice breakthrough is priced at a place where you can afford it. Wherever you are, if you're collecting less than $20,000 per month, we've priced this so you can afford it. And what's included with it is absolutely incredible. Every month, you're going to have a personal practice growth guide that sits with you for 30 minutes and talks specifically about your practice and what's going on with your practice and how to help you with your specific situation. This is amazing gift. This in and of itself would pay for the whole thing, but this is just one piece within the 180-day UC practice breakthrough system. Because when you work on these individual sessions in combination with a monthly mastermind group with other committed upper cervical practice owners in a 60-minute mastermind group led by this practice growth guide, so you can learn best practices, get feedback on your current challenges, and celebrate your wins. When you combine the individual growth sessions with the monthly mastermind group, what happens is you start to develop a different mindset. You start to get that purpose and intentionality and perseverance. You start getting that accountability to think differently. You start getting those habits established. You start getting that accountability to keep those habits and keep them going. You also start to see what's necessary to either hire or train your CA. We work with you on making sure that you have the right people, that if you've hired someone already, we help you to assess them and make sure that they're the right person. But we also are going to focus on helping you to develop chiropractic advocates, right? With clear KRAs and KPIs, with position agreements, job scorecards, training schedules. These types of things is all what we help you develop during those practice growth sessions, so that your CA can be a powerful force within your practice. And it's not just going to be you driving the practice. We help you with all of these keys as part of this 180-day breakthrough. The mindset, the habits, the CA hiring and training. But what about the new patients? That comes also with this program. We've got a bunch of new patient generating strategies, including our upper cervical awareness website and directory that will tap into the chronic condition world and drive patients into your practice. You'll be on there. We'll be focusing on local SEO with your individual website and getting the right people to land on your website. We'll help you with your Google reviews. We have a different strategies to generate reviews and give you different easy to use tools that you can use within our dashboard to generate reviews as well. We help you with those videos. We talked about recording videos. We help you optimize them and distribute them and promote them so that they become, each one of those videos become a powerful marketing tool for you out in your community. We also will help you generate referrals. We talked about this, the importance of patient education and generating referrals through every step of your process. So we do things like monthly email newsletters and custom promotion of practice events and in-office educational flyers. These types of things can be really powerful ways to generate referrals. Also, if you've been around a while and you've got a patient list, we'll help you reactivate those patients and give you more benefit from those patients who have gone inactive, get them back to the practice. And we have a custom dashboard to track everything that we're doing, monthly data reporting that's going to give you a ROI on exactly what's happening with your system. And this is what it's about. These doctors have gone through the 180-day breakthrough and seen incredible results. We want that for you too, Doc. We want you to thrive. We want you to go and really dominate in your local community and help as many people as possible. And because you stayed until the end, I wanted to share with you 4 additional bonuses that if you schedule today, you will also get as part of your 180-day breakthrough. Let's talk about each of these bonuses because each of them are pretty awesome. When you schedule today, you get these bonuses, and they are, number 1, uppercervicalcare.com premium listing. So if you're familiar with uppercervicalcare.com, it is the biggest directory of upper cervical doctors on the internet. It has over 1,000 doctors on it. And on that directory, a premium listing gets special focus and attention to it. And so you will have one of those premium listings included with your system with us. And in addition to that, this is a website that is highly trafficked. People come there every day looking for upper cervical doctors, and they're going to find you, and they're going to respond to that listing by filling out a form or clicking on a phone number, and we'll be able to track all of that for you within your dashboard. So you'll know exactly how many new patients are coming from your premium listing, where they're and how to maximize that most effectively. So that's bonus number one. Bonus number two is a new patient email sequence. This is another incredible thing that we've developed for helping educate patients. As we've talked about, patient education is key. We've got to get patients to understand upper cervical so they can refer others. And so we have this sequence where you'll be able to send out to all your new patients that will educate them over those first few months of care and really help them to consistently, come into the practice, have that loyalty to the practice, have that compliance to your care plan, but also understand upper cervical and be able to refer others. So that's another awesome bonus. And bonus number three is an upper cervical specific whiteboard video. This is another great marketing tool that can be on your website, can be on your social media, and can really help to explain upper cervical in a graphic way, an animated way that's really fun to listen, fun to watch. That is another bonus. And then lastly is bonus number four, the Spinal Column in-office PDF newsletter. This is another thing that you can use within the practice to educate patients, help them understand about different conditions that upper cervical patients have seen results with. And it's just another powerful patient education tool. So you get all these bonuses, everything we talked about when you sign up when you get an appointment to get started with the 180-day breakthrough. So what do you do now, Doc? What are you going to do now? I want to encourage you to have that breakthrough. If you're in practice growth stage 1, you're collecting less than $20,000 per month, you need a breakthrough. That's what this is. It's a 180-day UC practice breakthrough. You can get started with it by simply going to the website, ucmgrow.com. Go to ucmgrow.com, click on Start Growing in the upper right-hand corner, and get your appointment to get started in this process. You'll learn more about it. You'll learn all about the everything that's associated with the program, everything that is included, and all that you will be getting as a result of working with us on growing your practice. And so if you haven't already, if you've stayed to the end here, I encourage you, why not? Schedule the appointment. If you continue to do what you've already done, you'll probably continue to get the results that you have been getting. And so I encourage you, engage a guide, engage us, help us to combine coaching and marketing to lead to your breakthrough. Go to ucmgrow.com, click on Start Growing. Let's help you, Doc. We want to help you have your breakthrough so you can be one of the success stories that I can talk about in the future about your practice, rocking and rolling, helping more people, bringing more hope, more healing to more sick and suffering people. Go to ucmgrow.com and click on Start Growing. Thank you, Doc, for your time today.